We're live.
It is Monad in the Morning, episode 7. We are so very extremely back. Many updates to chat through, couple special guests. Going to be a lot of fun. Intern, how we feeling this morning?
I feel great, dude. There was the research paper introducing Monad BFT that came out yesterday. A new consensus mechanism, which has some pretty cool features we'll dive into a little bit. Obviously, we have the spin to win wheel. We know that that's a crowd favorite. We will be getting that going ASAP. Joseph, how you doing this morning, dude?
It's actually the morning this time.
Finally.
Yeah.
The first Monad of the morning that is an accurate description using the time zone that most
Eastern.
people use globally, Eastern time.
Yeah. And it is a Thursday, so it is a little different, but I think going forward, we are going to be doing it every Thursday at 10 a.m. unless there is some one-offs, but we have put this together so that you guys can start planning and actually preparing and making sure that you can be here, because I know people want to be a part of this. They want to be able to win. We had like 180,000 views last episode, and I know a lot of those weren't live and some of them came in after. And so yeah, if you're one of those 180,000, you want to be a part of it and you want to spin the win, we are now set at 10 a.m. every Thursday.
Plus or minus maybe
10
15 minutes. It'll be about, yeah.
It is the technical support show at the beginning, and we appreciate the community's patience while we got this up and running. Intern, you mentioned we saw a very exciting paper drop from Category Labs yesterday. I don't think any of us on stream here today are really equipped to chat through the nuances, but thankfully I think we have somebody who is.
I think we have someone who's very equipped to talk about Monad BFT. Our special guest today is James Hunsaker in the chat. Can we get some W's for James in the chat? James was formerly the CTO at Monad Labs, the vast majority of the brain behind the initial design of Monad itself. Now I believe, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe he's CEO at Category Labs, which is doing the development of the technology of the underlying Monad blockchain. Maybe we can try to sync this up. We'll give a warm welcome to James. Yeah, no, you need a soundboard.
Slow clap,
Yeah,
slow
we need a
clap.
soundboard.
James, how's it going? Welcome to Monad in the Morning.
Am I on now? Am I here?
You're live.
Yes, loud and clear.
How's it going?
Fantastic. Appreciate you joining today. We need some help explaining Monad BFT consensus to the community, and who better to do it than yourself. So appreciate you joining, and I know we have a lot to run through here in a pretty short window of time. So we'll keep it rapid fire, and for the community in the chat, we'll get you a spin to win pretty shortly as well.
Yeah. James, first things first, the chat is spamming Milady right now. I think your presence has been felt around the NFT community. I believe you also did an AMA with the Mad Lads yesterday.
Yeah, I did Mad Lads AMA last night.
Perfect. Yeah, before we dive into Monad BFT, how is the NFT thing come about? I know we were talking like a year ago, and you're like, I don't know, what are NFTs? Just kind of running through it. And then, I've honestly become kind of an aficionado, understanding the internet culture. What has it been like with like the Milady, the Mad Lad, anything on the NFT front? I didn't expect you to become an expert, and maxi the wrong word, but someone that appreciates what NFTs have to offer.
Yeah, I mean, I used to ask people like, what the hell is this NFT shit? Like, why are people buying these things? Like, what is it? Like, people would give different explanations. And I think one thing that really stuck with me is like community. It's like each one of these has like a community. And yeah, at some point I was just like, okay, I want to find out what all this is all about. Why are people like so interested in this? And I was asking like, what is like a good NFT? Like, what's the best NFT to start with, basically? And like, Milady obviously was one of those suggestions, and then like okay, like what's a good Milady, and then we just like kind of came up with this wild idea, like maybe buy like the Milady, like the Milady makers Milady, and we I didn't reach out to him. One of our friends reached out to him. And started chatting, and like it took a few months, just like chatting, and I was like, oh, do I really want to like buy this super expensive like pixel art sort of thing? And I'm like, and then then we eventually came to like a deal. I bought it, and as I mentioned before, like it's just kind of like a emotional sort of like attachment. Like this thing is just really cool, and kind of like you kind of build like this emotional attachment to these things, and then I just more interested and started looking at other art, and I get recommendations, and it's just really cool. And then like the Mad Lads thing came about, and I was just browsing through the Mad Labs, like what was available, and I saw that one that I bought that I posted, was it yesterday, I think, yesterday morning, and like the art's super cool, like the eyes match up with like the vest, and I don't know, it just has like this certain like look, right? And I think it's like the Galaxy vest and like possessed eyes or something. It's like really good, like I don't know, it just like spoke to me, and I'm like, this is a really cool NFT, and like so I don't know, just starting a little collection. I bought, I don't know, well, some collections I own more than one, but probably have like on mainnet, probably have like Solana and Ethereum, like 6-7 collections that I'm involved in.
Yeah, you're this is like the very stoic version of I am my penguin and my penguin is me. Shout out Joey Moose. Which is a classic line on the NFT side. We do want to hit a spin to win right away. We know that is the crowd favorite. We have our trivia question. So the first person to answer this with the right number in the chat will be the first winner of Spin to Win on Monday in the Morning, episode 7 with special guest James Hunsaker. The question is, what Milady number does James own? Ooh. What is James's Milady number? Do we have the chat live in the stream?
Yeah.
Yep, bottom corner. Okay. The answer's not here yet.
There's some close ones.
Yeah. You guys are actually pretty close.
I actually don't know the exact number.
It's bang.
Oh, that's a good number.
Great number.
Very relevant number as well. Oh, I see it.
Diego Voss.
Diego
Voss, a repeat winner, I believe. At least I see him on Twitter all the time. I'm not sure if he's won the spin to win before. It is Milady number 10.
He's won every time we do a meme coin launch on nad.fi because he's the one that destroys it every time.
He's the
he's won enough times.
Like the Milady knower, the lore aficionado.
A dementor in the charts.
The dementor of the charts.
So what does he win?
Out of these coins.
What's the
We got
prize?
a spin to find out.
He wins a spin on the wheel, and then we find out what his prize is. Fun fact, 10 was also my number.
All right. Should we spin this thing for Diego?
Let's see it.
Let's see what Diego gets.
All
Wait,
right.
do we zoom in on that?
We don't have, I think.
Here we go.
Spin it.
Big spin for Diego. We got to see what this is. Unsure. Live shout out on stream for Diego, the spin to winner.
I feel like this has been a shout out.
Yeah, we teed him up.
Yeah,
with
I think you got to spin it
ratings.
again, dude. That's not a prize.
Spin it again. Spin it again. We already gave him the shout out. We already talked about everything. We call him the dementor of the charts.
Yeah, that's a pretty good shout out.
All right, we'll give him another spin.
James hates my prize. Great. Here we go for Diego. Hopefully this one's a little better or worse. What do we got here? A 1 in 1,000 chance to win a Steve NFT. For
What a
those who are
terrible
unaware
prize.
What a Steve is. It is Cryptoon's very special testnet NFT.
But you got to be clear. It's not you get a Steve. You get a 1 in 1,000
This-
chance.
This
So-
wheel is garbage. Like,
No. So there are some obviously great prizes. There are also negative prizes. So today, in light of recent current global macro events, there is a tariff prize, which means you get blocked from every single Monad account. You cannot access any of the content. And then there are some that are kind of neutral, right? The live shout out, you're like, all right, I guess I'll take it. The 1 in 1,000 chance at Steve, I think that's actually just Tunes trolling.
Yeah.
How do we do the 1 in 1,000?
So he said that he's going to. So this is on Tunes. Essentially, you have to do like a randomized 1 in 1,000 chance, and you pick a number, he'll press it, and you have a 1 in 1,000 chance.
Imagine he hits it.
These Steves are also not a rare commodity.
They're
it's more trouble to go through spin the wheel and a 1 in 1,000 chance than it is to just go on Magic Eden and buy it with your testnet dust. It's valueless.
Honestly,
is there a prize on that wheel that's worth anything?
No,
these are all valueless testnet tokens. They have
sentimental.
sentimental value. For example, Keone leaving you a voicemail is one of the prizes that you can win. You can win testnet Mon tokens.
Like, this is just like perfect, like crypto, like rug right here.
Oh my god,
James,
we're
hates
trying to
the
have
wheel.
fun. We don't. There's no inherent or like real value that exists on this. However,
I just lowered my brand by joining this.
Well, let's raise it. Maybe you can tell us about the Monad BFT consensus mechanism and the research paper that dropped yesterday.
yeah, I have a few specific questions for you on the paper, James, but I don't know if it would be better just to give kind of a broad overview of what the paper is, what the research has looked like to get to this point. I think most people who saw the tweet just generally know, oh, this is Monad's consensus mechanism. It's a new design. There's some cool features that come out of it. So maybe starting from there, yeah, what's some of the story behind this and what did this research look to achieve?
First of all, I didn't write the paper, so if I screw up here, people can roast me later. So yeah, I mean, like a typical consensus algo is classic. Sorry, not typical. Classic consensus algo is all-to-all communication. So you're going through this like basically state machine. State machine is just like everyone kind of agreeing on what's happening, and the way they progress is by sending a message from one. Everybody sends a message to everyone else, and so. If you have like 100 nodes, that's 10,000 messages because 100 nodes sending 100 messages to the other people. And so you end up with like this, it's n squared, what they call like in computer science, like n squared complexity. You're just sending a lot of messages. And so there's been various research to try to like reduce that complexity. And so one way is you have like a leader, and the leader sends, a message to everyone. So that's, like 100 nodes again, leader sends them a proposal to 100 people. And then instead of them, everyone sending n squared again to each other to say that they saw it, they send their like acknowledgement of seeing that message back to the leader or to the next leader. And so that then leader aggregates all that, what they call votes together, and sends that back out. And so that scales linearly, what they call linearly with the number of nodes. So instead of 10,000 messages, you get back down to 100 messages each round. And so this is some advancements. Of course, this work is built on other people's work. I should say that, like, this is not, made up from scratch. This is an advancement that's been built off other papers by other teams. And so what happens is you need this like sort of like back-to-back voting. Each in the pipeline sort of consensus, you're doing each step. You're doing three things. You're proposing a new block. You are voting on the previous block, and then you're voting on the votes of the previous block. And so you got kind of like three blocks in flight, three proposals in flight at any given moment. And sometimes for different reasons, you'll get basically a situation where nothing happens, and that maybe that leader is maybe like that hardware is off, like that node died, lost its internet connection, this sort of thing, and so you'll get what's called a timeout, and that's basically everyone's waiting for the message from the leader. Some amount of time passes, no one sees the message, or a significant number of people don't see the message. And to really like basically make progress, you have to time out. And that timeout is done as a back as an n-squared sort of operation where everybody messages everyone else in the timeout. So after some time passes, no one sees it. I'll send a message to everyone else, the 100 other validators, and so you get back in that n-squared. But that's fine because that's just like that's kind of the unhappy case. So you have like the happy path and the unhappy path. The happy path is like everything's working and that's optimal. And the unhappy path is, everything's not working, but then you kind of fall back to this slower sort of mechanism. And so there's these sort of, with the pipeline, there's three, as I mentioned, there's these sort of like three states that a proposal's in, like it's broadcast, it's voted again. And you need sort of these like back-to-back votes for a thing to be finalized. So when you first see the proposal as just like you're running your full node, you see your transaction, you're like, okay, it looks like at least the leader picked my transaction. I'm happy about that. I'm probably going to be included if everything's working fine, but you don't really know that your transaction's been finally included in the block until it's been finalized, which is after the two other rounds of voting. And so like in Monad, which has right now running at a half a second block time, to get the true finality is after 1.5 seconds. That's, you'll see that your transaction's included after half a second. But there may be something that goes wrong, like a timeout or something that the voting and that would, doesn't finalize your transaction right away. And so there's this sort of a situation that happens where during a timeout, the person who gets to propose after the timeout could basically discard the block that was proposed before. And so you thought your transaction was going to be included, and it ends up that it's not. And so if you're like a trading firm or something like that, if you're reacting off that, like you want to hedge, like you're a futures trade or something, or hedge something like that, you could actually enter into a bad position.
Can I try to do an analogy to like make this feel more simple so people can kind of understand what's going on versus an n-squared? I do a lot of analogies on the fly, so you can tell me where this is flawed and where it's not. But this is kind of what I'm picking up from your explanation. The way that the linear complexity works is I want to meet up with 50 people. So I text in a group chat with all 50 saying, hey, let's meet here at 7. And then everyone likes the text, all 50 people. So then I know that everyone saw that text and we're all planning to meet at 7. In the happy path, everyone just shows up at 7. With the n-squared complexity, this would be like before group chats were invented, everyone's like texting on BlackBerries or whatever. And to coordinate with 50 people, every single person needs to individually text every single person saying, let's meet here at 7. So instead of one text to 50 people and then 50 likes, it's more like 2,500 individual texts going to everyone to coordinate. Is that more or less right?
Yeah, that's right. And so
group chats of crypto. We love to see it.
Yeah, so like that works fine. Like if everything is in the same data center, same region, um, that works fine. Like the latency is low, but when you have a globally distributed system like Monad is and intends to be, right, and you have thousands of nodes across the planet, which is basically limited by the speed of physics and all this sort of thing. Like this all-to-all communication is not efficient, and that's why people came up with this sort of like send everything to one person, let them accumulate all the votes and send it back out to everyone else.
Got you. And the reason that this is important is because if you have the group chat, it's very easy to scale the group chat from 100 people to 200 people, and then you can see that everyone likes the text and you're good to go. But if you scaled from 100 people to 200 people on the individual text, you're going from 10,000 text total to 40,000. And there's a lot more hardware and bandwidth and everything involved in that.
Right.
So you can scale it out to way more nodes total, which allows the system to still be efficient, but be as decentralized as possible.
Yeah, and then there's this latency aspect, which is why you pipeline it. So with the next proposal, you're also still voting and simultaneously on the previous proposals. And so this is pipelining. This is basically like, we do this in pipelining and execution. CPUs do pipelining. Like pipeline is a very common theme.
It's also the name of this show.
The name of the show, yeah.
Pipeline mentioned.
So there's this idea that like you think your transaction is going to be included on the blockchain. There's a timeout. The person that basically recovers from the timeout can propose a different block, and so you got rugged basically. Like you thought you were there, but you weren't. And so this paper that was introduced by the team is basically to make sure that the proposal that's proposed after the timeout has to be the one that was already seen before. And so while there's a delay because of that leader being down or whatever due to the timeout, you still have confidence that transaction is going to be included. And so, whatever actions you took as a result of thinking your transaction was included are still valid.
Gotcha.
So that's the enhancement. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So it's a higher chance that your transaction is included. So where other systems that have used the linear complexity will sometimes break down, this is like an improvement to make sure that as many transactions as physically possible can be included in the
game. It's just better user experience. You think your transaction included, you want to, if you find out later that's not, that's upsetting, right? And if you're a trading firm or you're doing something that's like you're hedging or you're, not necessarily trading for people, I guess people do hedging and stuff as well, but you think your transaction's included and you take actions as a result of thinking your transaction's included, you do something else, and then things can start to fall apart, if you took actions. So, yeah.
Got you. So if I all right, this is maybe where the analogy starts to break down. But if I think I really wanted to meet this one person and someone said they liked the text in the chat, which to me means they're going to be there. And then I spend all this time and I show up and then it turns out that person's actually not there. I just made a lot of other plans. I made decisions on what to do with my time and money based on this thing that I thought was included, and it didn't actually end up happening. So this reduces the chance that would happen.
Yeah, like you thought the person agreed to come over, and so you placed the DoorDash order, and like you already committed to the DoorDash order now, and like the person's not coming over. So yeah, so now you got to eat leftovers for a few days.
I feel like you're subtweeting me with this. How do you know that happens to me so often? Beautiful. And then we have just one final question on the Tech Talk side. To me, I did read the abstract. And in the abstract, it seemed like a big emphasis was on fork resistance. So basically this But this linear complexity consensus mechanism has been implemented and proposed in the past, but the true improvement or the true emphasis is on the fork resistance.
Yeah, the forking is basically you're proposing something different than what people have already proposed for that block, and so that's basically the enhancement, right?
Cool.
It's a new proposal for the same block, and it has different content. Assuming that the number of people have seen it, this stops you from proposing a different block with different contents.
Awesome.
Sorry, different contents for the same block. So yeah.
All right. And then, James, I know you're a very busy man. You are actually building out a lot of this chain. We don't want to keep you on here for too long. I know one question that probably the people watching the community would be interested in. We're on testnet now. Mainnet will be coming. Are there any kind of key pieces or key things that need to happen from the tech side before mainnet can launch?
Yeah, so we're working on staking now. That's in progress. Working on better improvements to state sync, which is starting up a new node. This consensus algo that was described in the paper is not implemented yet. We're still using the previous version. So the current testnet has this, doesn't have this fork resistance. So, these are some of the major things that we're working on. Team is always improving performance. There's a lot of stuff that's just for like validator quality of life, making the experience easier to run and maintain a Monad node. And yeah, there's just a number of different enhancements going in, but yeah, the major things are what I mentioned.
Awesome.
Validator quality of life is a great phrase.
Yeah. How's your validator quality of life doing today?
Yeah. I'm gonna build a validator. I'm gonna tweet this. So I'm promoting that here, but yeah, I want to document. I want to go through as a home, full node validator. I want to go through that experience and document that. And so that'll be coming up soon. I'll tweet that. And,
yeah, we need some media on that as well, like a video tutorial or a recap, in the garage, slapping the validator together would be super cool.
Yeah, with all shout out John W. Rich Kid, all pieces bought from Costco. We'll build our validator out of Costco technology. James, thank you so much for coming on. I think we'll do one final spin to win before we let you go. The way to get this spin to win is, I know people who have been here in the past know this game. Grab your pen, grab your piece of paper. Please write validator quality of life on a piece of paper, take a picture, and reply to the pipeline tweet.
Spell it right.
Yeah. No more two red situations. If you spell it wrong, 1, you will get publicly lambasted, and 2, you will not win the prize. So validator quality of life. Danny's live. Checking to see who comes in.
While they're checking on that, I gotta to mention, John W. Rich Kid, you're gonna get banned from the stream if you keep unfollowing and refollowing. He's done it 7 times trying to get his name on the stream.
Okay, well, we have our first comment. The spelling is correct. Validator quality of life. It is from a longtime listener and supporter of the pipeline, Urban Crypto. This spin to win is for you. Yeah, you can't underestimate the nads. Sovan is in second. No surprises there. But it looks like you said validator quality of byte, but no real conversation there because you're in second anyways.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Sovan.
Before we spin, Sovan, we got your team affirmations, and anybody else waiting on any prizes we are getting to them. We're checking them off, so be patient.
Appreciate the patience.
But here we go.
And
we got a better angle, so now they can
Urban
see
Crypto. Undoubtedly, James will be disappointed with this prize.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Here we go. for Urban Crypto. This thing's suction cupped on. 100 testnet mon. There we go. That's not terrible.
That's better.
Yeah, that's great. You could probably buy a bunch of Steves with that. I don't know what the floor price is.
1,000 Steves.
Yeah. Send one to Diego Voss. You might need
I don't think 100 Monad will buy you anything these days. Like,
Well, you
it's
Steve.
usually like 10,000. Yeah, it might buy you Steve.
Well, you're just looking at the blue chips, James.
Okay, maybe there's some
You got to
undervalued.
go out on the curve. Try to find some underappreciated art.
There's some sleepers. Find one that you have some emotional attachment on and go for it. James, appreciate you being here today. If you want to follow James on Twitter and see him build a validator in the coming weeks or months, follow _J Hunsaker. And also follow Category Labs on Twitter. That's category_XYZ. Super awesome to have had James on today, recapping a bit behind the scenes for the new novel BFT consensus paper. A lot of exciting stuff. The optimizations continue, performance improves, and we chug along throughout this testnet phase. Thanks again, James.
Yep,
Well,
thanks for having me.
chat is going crazy. What happened? They're calling you Danny Ruglines again.
So the Twitch stream wasn't loading for about 30 seconds. There.
Ah.
I'm still working on Twitter. I don't know what other channels this goes out to.
All it says is Danny Ruglines will regret the messing with the.
Danny
Oh, my
Ruglines
goodness.
will
Monad.
regret messing with the Monad community.
Oh my goodness, my sincere and humble apologies. Apparently I am responsible for Twitch as well. The prize for anyone who's watching on Twitch and missed it was 100 testnet mon for Urban Crypto. I have made a note of this. Please DM me on Telegram at Danny404 with your wallet address, just Urban Crypto, so I can disperse your prize later today.
And we are working on a brand new way of doing the spin to win stuff that I can't wait. We're going to be implementing it hopefully shortly. That will be able to get you some team on pretty quickly and much better deliverables.
There we go.
Cool,
Beautiful.
cool.
James, thank you.
Yeah,
Get
get
your
some real
suits, Aaron.
prizes on that. All right, see it.
James, like, I'm going to rebuild this stream from scratch. It's going to take 2 years, but the prizes will be epic. All right.
Beautiful. Well, we have a lot more to get into as well. We've got some alpha on Monad games, a little bit behind the scenes. We have another special guest coming on in about 20 minutes. So stick with us. It is Monad in the Morning, episode 7. I think we should potentially go right into another spin to win.
Rip it. Yeah, I don't know. You got the docket for today. So.
Oh, actually, so I heard from Tunes while the stream was live, and giveaway works. So let's see. Let me pull up my instructions here to make sure I get this correct. But I think we're going to generate a random number 1 through 1,000, and then we need Diego, the winner of the 1 in 1,000 chance at receiving a Steve, to try and guess the number in the chat. So I'm going to pull up a random number generator right now. Diego, hopefully you're still with us. I see you in the chat slinging insults at me as usual. Really appreciate that, guys. Thanks a lot. I need, like, I don't know. Why did it say password?
Random number generator.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right.
Okay.
So we're going to generate a random number, and then Diego, stand by. Don't guess until we generate the number, sir.
Diego, it's 1 through 1,000. Wow.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint, Diego, because Tunes' troll is outrageous. A 1 in 1,000 chance at a Steve. We're gonna cut it down to about 1 in 100. It's either in the first 50 numbers or the last 50 numbers of the range. So it's either 1 through 50 or 950 through 1,000.
But you only get one guess. So the first guess we see from Diego coming in is the number
all of these numbers everyone's guessing is completely out of range.
And also just wildly irrelevant.
Yeah. It's only Diego that can guess, right?
Diego goes LOL in the chat. Sir, give us your guess, please.
We need a guess from Diego. Oh my God, that guy almost got it. Monad 33M almost got it.
He's sticking with 21, and he is unfortunately incorrect. The number was 966. Thank you for playing.
Game is game.
We might need to get Tunes on stream at some point.
I've tried.
He got body doxed. So like I think his biggest thing was being doxed as extremely short. He was very nervous about that for a long time, but then KB ended up posting the picture with him, and the entire community started calling him Tiny Tunes. So his worst nightmare is already realized.
Tiny Tunes.
So that part's already over with. I think we can just mask him up and put him on.
I hope so.
I bought him 2 masks.
All right, the masks have been purchased. Tunes is going to be joining. Danny, what else do we have docket-wise for the day?
Monad Games. We got to give some alpha. A lot of people had no idea by design what Monad Games even was. A lot of people were thinking it's a Web3 gaming highlight, which in a sense it is, but not in the traditional way. There are a lot of Web3 games deploying on the Monad testnet, and there is a highlight coming up for those. But Monad Games is entirely separate. It is Jussup's brainchild, so I'll throw it over to him to tell the community the high level of what Monad Games is. We'll dive a little bit deeper as well and share some alpha for those listening live today.
I've been over here. You guys can't hear it because I'm the only one wearing headphones, but I've been playing the soundboard. So there's sound effects happening as you guys are saying things. So when Diego lost, it was like, wah, wah.
Perfect. Poor Diego.
Yeah. But Monad Games is basically kind of YouTube content, and we got Danny, Kevin, KB, Pre-Ballin, and possibly Spam to all compete using testnet tokens as the kind of marker and the point system, and they compete in a few different games. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we should leak too much, but it's very similar to Squid Games inspired Mr. Beast videos, and it's kind of a one of a kind in the Web3 space. So
yeah, and for some of the lore for people who are tuning in either for the first time or kind of new to the Monad community and what's been going on, there have been a ton of people who have been early Monad enjoyers, been in the chats, been active, publicly talking about the things they're looking forward to, and have built a brand and become very recognizable, certainly in the Monad community and then among kind of general broader crypto Twitter overall. Pre-Ballin, possibly Spam, and KB all were these people. They started out, they were in the Discord, they were making memes, comments, whatever. They did well, the community liked them, and then they got noticed by projects. So shout out Kuru Exchange. They hired KB to run a lot of their community and marketing stuff. Dr. Pre-Ballin got scooped by Composite Labs. Shout out Composite. Everyone likes perpetual exchange swapping for fun, especially amongst global macro turmoil, and possibly Spam at LFJ.
That is, I think, like one of the greatest powers of like crypto and communities. The fact that you can join a project early, leverage whatever unique skills and talents and things that you just genuinely like to do. KB always yapping on the timeline, like very involved in NFTs. Pre-Ballin, very, involved in storied history on the music side of things. They brought Spam, I don't know, but
Spam is an insane degenerate
Yeah.
who has zero filter at all, which is actually, there's pros and cons to it, but you what's the thing? It's like you either like me or not, but at least you watched.
Yes.
That's spam to me.
He is unapologetically spam, but like that's the coolest thing I think that crypto enables, that you can come in and really be yourself, create a platform for yourself, an audience for yourself, grow, and then ultimately get a job for it. And in the broader life cycle of Monad, it's still extremely early. Sure, there's a lot of projects building on the testnet, and many more will be building on Monad by mainnet time, but that means that the opportunity continues to accelerate and scale. And if you look back, there's been, many success stories like this in the broader crypto industry. So really looking forward to seeing more Monad community members putting themselves out there, doing the things that they love to do, supporting projects in the ecosystem, and ultimately gaining real valuable opportunities as a result of that. So chat, think about what you love to do, bring it to the Monad community. We look forward to hopefully having you on the next Monad Games.
Absolutely.
So kind of on same topic though is Opinion Labs. Like you
Yes.
can actually go on right now and bet on who you think is going to win, which is really cool. I think Monad Games has not only is a form of content, but it also has gotten some of these apps that are on the testnet to have activations around it as well, which is really cool. So we're connecting the community, connecting ecosystem projects.
Yeah, it's not just content, it's like on chain. And this is actually, here's some alpha. This is one of a few different ways that you can get active on chain around Monad Games. But huge shout out to Opinion Labs. Awesome team, awesome product, live on the Monad testnet, and they did create a market for Monad Games so that you can predict the winner. To do so, just check out the Pipeline's pinned tweet, which also includes the trailer for Monad Games. There's a direct link to the Opinion Labs market right there where you can pick your winner and make them your ride or die.
Yeah, and a brief shout out or a little bit overview, maybe a hook to keep in your mind of what Opinion Labs is, because they're building a very cool product that doesn't exist yet in crypto, and made Monad their home base for it. So very excited to have them. You can think about them as a combination of Polymarket and Pump Fun. So Polymarket, a lot of the time they'll listen to the community and then create markets for people to bet on. Pump Fun obviously is completely permissionless meme coin deployment. Opinion Labs, you can go on and create your own prediction markets, and then as they grow, as they scale, right, they become the featured main markets that everyone is betting on. So permissionless prediction market creation, two things I'm incredibly excited about to see, one, only possible in crypto, which is one thing I definitely look for when getting excited about a project. I also think prediction markets it's just a massive unlock. I don't know anyone who watched the election, which is probably a lot of people, right? Polymarket, this was the first time Polymarket was truly in the spotlight and relevant. And it was updating way, way faster than any other source of media. Basically the election this time around was just Twitter and Polymarket and refreshing. Information travels faster. You're getting much more accurate looks into what people think is going to happen, right? Because you have to put your money where your mouth is. You can't just say whatever you want. So prediction markets in general, very cool. Permissionless creation of them, also very cool. A very fun take on it. So pumped to have Opinion Labs building in the Monad ecosystem. I think they're going to do some awesome things moving forward.
I'm going to create my own prediction market on whether or not I get a fantasy top card first or on Kizzy first.
Ooh, we actually have. I actually don't know if I can share this alpha. Especially, I think we retweeted off main, so maybe a decent amount of people watch this. There's something cool coming up that blends Monad and Kaido and Fantasy Top, specifically for the Monad Fantasy Top tournaments. It's very cool. I think that's something that's going to be exciting. So, Jessup, maybe get your Twitter game up, get your impressions up, and you might just will your way into a Fantasy Top card.
Well, we'll give him a boost right now. Go follow Jessup11 on Twitter. Dude is always pushing out banger content. The
You heard that.
library of content that you have on your laptop and hard drives and other, file storage systems is just literally outrageous. He's got the jacket on today, ladies
If
and
you need
gentlemen.
some help.
Jessup 11, third most watched YouTube channel.
Beautiful.
Give him a ring.
One other, I guess if we're talking about, or I guess if I'm talking about things I'm excited about in crypto, we'll just stick on that topic for a second. The main thing that I'm most excited about for crypto right now are stable coins and using them for payments, remittances, basically anything that spreads the dollar and increases the total amount of money transacting on chain. There's been a bunch of improvements to crypto L1 and L2 infrastructure where payments are actually super feasible and cheaper to do on crypto rails versus kind of normal Venmo, Zelle, wire transfers. And it's also permissionless. Anyone can use it. I think that that's going to be one of the biggest success stories of crypto when we look at it 5 years from now. Monad's pretty well positioned to be a massive player in the stablecoin and payment space. We have a few announcements coming up in the near future. I can't actually give details on it because I would probably get in trouble. But there's some cool stuff coming there. Very excited about how that landscape is going to progress. And yeah, one day, hopefully I have my own money on chain on Monad, and I'm using that to just buy coffee. Right? I remember reading the Bitcoin white paper, then going and looking at what people talk about. It was like 8 years ago. They're like, we got to build the Lightning Network so we can buy coffee with Bitcoin.
Or
I'm like,
pizza.
or pizza. And I'm like, that is an awesome idea. And then the Lightning Network kind of didn't go anywhere. And it turned out Bitcoin actually wasn't that good for that. But you can solve it with crypto. So yeah, that's one thing I'm pumped for.
There was one guy that spent quite a bit on pizza.
A lot of Bitcoins.
I'm pretty sure he's chill though.
Yeah, he's good. We know him. We were actually on Spaces with him. I want to say like 2 or 3 months ago. Bitcoin Pizza Guy. Shout out Bitcoin Pizza Guy.
I think most people think of that story as if like, oh, he had 10,000 Bitcoin and he was just like, I'm going to trade it all for a pizza and just entirely walk away from the space. And I'm pretty sure that's not what happened.
If you are that early buying Bitcoin, I'm certain you don't take 100% of your stack to purchase 2 pizzas and then never touch it again. I think he's completely fine.
Yeah, that would be savage. It's been a while since we spun the wheel. Let's get it cooking. According to James, the prizes are terrible, but according to me, they're awesome. So,
I think our guest is standing right out here. So
we have our guest teed up. Let's bring on our guest and get
And
him to
spin the wheel.
the wheel.
Okay, so-
you want to let him in, and I'll fire a little intro.
all right, go for it. You're on.
Do a Christmas vacation drum roll.
And then the whole family joins in. That was bad. We're slipping here, but we do have another special guest. He gets the purple microphone today. It is his first time ever on the Monad in the Morning stream. He is Monad's first designer, Kevin Canlis. Welcome to the show, sir.
KC. There we go. You won't need the headphone. I don't? No. That's only when
You can rock them if you want for
Yeah,
style,
they look kind
but
of cool, yeah.
not
KC's the master of style.
And we probably need to adjust that microphone as well. So,
That's your mic there.
and you can, it should tilt forward. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Chat, if
So
you
you're
can,
live, so say hello.
if you can hear Kevin.
Can you guys hear me?
I don't know, Jessup, how's the sound? We can just ask the
ahead.
chat, actually.
Yeah, chat, can we hear Kevin?
Yeah, probably lean a little
Not
closer.
Kevin intern.
Not me.
Kevin C, the legendary designer.
Sailor Nini saying no. Maybe bring it a little closer, Casey.
Hello.
Is he just quiet, or is he...
It's just this.
Oh,
this
loud.
mic is a little different than
Gotcha.
the rest.
So,
Yeah, it's on. You just got to be real close on it.
Oh, okay. I can talk like this.
There you go.
there we go. Fun?
Yeah, this is actually more fun if I
Yeah. Why not, dude? American Idol style.
Heck yeah.
I'm a little bit jittery though, because this is like my second Celsius.
That's a good morning.
So if my
That's fantastic. That's a fiery start to
yeah.
the day.
My hand shakes. That's why I'm not nervous. I'm just
Caffeinated.
caffeinated.
Well, I tried to do a little bit of an intro, and we want to get to spin the wheel in just a second, and we're gonna have you do your first ever spin. But before we do that, can you give us a little bit of an intro in your own words?
Yeah. So I'm Monad's first design hire. I've been working here since like May.
You gotta keep it close.
And
close.
oh shit, yeah. So yeah, I'm the first design hire. I was the sole designer for quite some time until earlier this week. We got our second designer, so that's awesome. Design's gonna be like skyrocketing from here on out. But yeah, I'm also a software developer, so everything you see, I've basically built.
Yeah, if you saw the testnet landing page, the EVM Hackathon motion graphics, Monad Madness, the monad.xyz website, and honestly, anything else that looks good from a graphic design standpoint, it is most likely that gentleman behind
Thank you.
Yeah, funny story about the landing page, because that's certainly the closest KC and I
yeah.
have ever worked together. We're like a month out. Hadn't talked through the landing page at all and realized we hadn't actually kickstarted it. So Casey and I, and also shout out Tina. Tina, incredibly instrumental in bringing that to life. But basically, I don't know how many hours per week we were working at that point, but Casey was legit locked in for 4 weeks straight, probably like 14-hour days on average.
Yeah, something like that.
To bring that beautiful landing page. And then we announced it. We got about 4 million-ish impressions on the testnet tweet. A ton of people coming, checking out the website, and everyone said it looked beautiful, and it's because of KC. So shout out KC.
Oh,
We get
thank
some
you, man.
W's in the chat.
W's in the chat
Thank you, man.
for Casey. And I think it's time to spin the wheel. We've kept the chat waiting long enough. Casey, if you haven't seen this before, it's quite simple. We pick someone out of the chat via a few different methods, and then we spin the wheel and see what their prize is. Some of the prizes are good. Some of the prizes are not quite as good. James, who was our first guest on the show this morning, said that all the prizes were terrible, but it is a bit subjective.
So I did get your mic fixed a bit, so you don't have to be as close. But
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you don't have to be far away, but you don't have to be super close.
This is good.
Okay.
And then we got the chat here. So if you want to pick somebody randomly out of here,
I have a good prompt that I think could be good for KC's.
okay.
All right.
The first person, or maybe, say the first person to send in Kevin's Twitter handle
Oh shit.
gets the spin. So everyone send in Kevin's.
In the chat.
Yeah, in the chat. You have to send Kevin's Twitter handle in the chat at letters. Oh, bang.
Oh, Aries.
Aries 9.
Aries 9.
So-
Aries is
Repeat
another winner.
The repeat
Just
winners are
super
just
tight.
cracked. Like they know how the game works. They're standing by and
Damn.
they're fast.
That was
Real
fast.
Chaos Walker drops the link. Sailor Nini with the link. Yeah, go follow KC. He's got some awesome design advice here.
All right. Should I just like spin this?
Yeah, here, I'll hold this guy
Spin
for
it
you.
up. We'll see. There can only be one winner.
All right, we got to see what they got.
Wait, what is it? I actually can't see. So
A live shout out.
James
A
actually
live
nixed
shout-out?
the live shout out.
James canceled the live shout
Yeah,
out.
spin it again.
I'll spin it again. All right.
Respin.
This is still working.
Live shout out is a respin, but while he spins, Aries, thanks for tuning in and all the support. Let's see what you actually got.
All right, yeah, we go.
10 testnet mon.
10.
10.
Yo.
Oh,
Team
that's so
on.
low.
Not bad.
Aries 9 might have to change the name to Aries 10 after that win. Aries 10, team on, good to go.
Well, we have KC here, who, as we've said, is an expert on the design front. Ton of amazing work. Would love to gain a little bit of insight about your process, how you think about design in general. And there is a little bit of nuance here because you're not only working on the branding for the Monad Foundation, but oftentimes you're assisting with the branding for ecosystem projects. So would love to hear how you think about the brand design and the intentionality and the audience behind each of those as you work on various projects?
Right. Okay. So this is a very, very loaded question. So let's kind of, I guess, tackle the first one with like ecosystem projects. I think I've already mentioned this before, but if you're an ecosystem project, you don't have to use the Monad brand as your foundation. Like you can just start your own thing, like just build your own brand. Like you don't have to have NAD in your name, because then, yeah, you won't really stand out, basically. You want to be more memorable in that regard. And what was your other question, sorry?
So essentially, like, how do you think about brand design for ecosystem projects and also, for the foundation? Because obviously you're working on a bit of both.
Right. So the foundation side of things, that one's a little bit tricky because the Monad community is so strong that we can't really deviate too far from like what the community wants, because we want to make sure that the community is very like happy. So if we deviate too far, like, I don't think it's going to happen, right? So for the most part, we're going to stick with like what we've got and maybe do a little bit, we might do a little bit of, I don't know, a couple of new changes here and there. I can't really say much, but nothing too crazy. Like it's going to be very much Monad. Like we have to keep the core brand identity, right? So,
Well, we got Pop Nad saying he's removing Nad from his name.
no, don't do that. Keep it.
It's not across the board. It's not like we're.
Yeah.
No, I think like context wise, I was overhearing you talking with the new designer, and that was one of the things that you had talked about is just like them having the creativity. Like it's important for them to build their own brand, right?
Yeah.
Because it establishes, especially figuring out what it is they're building and what it is that who their audience is, because hopefully some of these products and projects are building something that is not just for, yes, it's for the Monad community, but also like hopefully a larger vision.
Yeah, exactly. Like you want to grow bigger than Monad. I know that sounds kind of weird, but like that's what you should really like strive for.
So with that mission in mind, if say I'm starting up a project, and I won't get into specifics about what it is because I don't know what it is because I'm not, but say I was, for example, and maybe I've been heads down coding for 6 months. I have the product down. I've got some ideas on community building, but I don't really have much experience on the design side of things. Like, how would you guide me or anybody in the audience to think about their brand design? Like, where do you start and what does the process look like, at least for you?
Gotcha. So I guess the first thing you should probably look into is like an inspiration board or a mood board of some kind. And the idea here is to kind of like create several extremes in your mood board so that you know what you don't like and what you do like. And then kind of just keep narrowing it down as you kind of create more mood boards. I think that's generally like the way to go when you first start building a brand.
Are there any projects in the Monad ecosystem in particular or outside, but any projects that you look at and say like, yeah, they do a really good job with their branding. It's eye-catching, it's unique, it's differentiated.
Yeah, Kuru is kind of cool because like they're green. Like everybody in crypto is purple, and like Kuru just kind of like stands out in like a sea of purple. It's just like boom, Kuru's right there. Boom, big green. I don't know. They just stand out, in my opinion.
I love how you're talking about sea of purple into a purple microphone.
Oh yeah,
It's like case in point. Should we spin the wheel again?
Let's do it.
We've got some making up to do. We haven't done many wheel spins.
When you are talking and you're turning over this way, just keep talking to the mic, not away from it.
Learning my mic skills. Yeah. Sorry, chat. It is time to spin the wheel. I want to keep it classic and just go with a random number, 1 through 100. I'm going to write it so we have proof locked in.
We're locked.
All right, so the first person to guess the number. Wow, that was close.
That was very close.
No exact yet. The first guess was very close. That's a hint right there. I don't see it just yet.
We're flying in.
The guesses are flying in. I can't hardly read this fast. Looks like it's still up for grabs.
Oh, see it.
How do you see it? It's
63, 63. 57 was the number. Should have been 63 for MJD.
Another repeat winner. It's actually crazy. The guessers are on point. We're always spinning the wheel for like the same 5-10 people.
Oh, Jungle Trout about 4 milliseconds after MJD also said 57. We almost had a Jungie win. Close but no cigar, sir.
Let's let our guests spin.
All right, here we go.
All right, KC has the magic touch. This one's for MJD 6363.
Let's see. Oh crap. 100 Mon.
100 testnet mon.
Woohoo.
Yeah, we might need to start getting some better prizes, I think.
If you
might had a
have
point.
yeah, James may have had a good point. See, the challenge with the prizes is like we have standard ones, like if it's sending out an NFT or a testnet token, that's easy to do. But some of the more like customized prizes, like a Keone voicemail or a personal greeting video, these things like take a good amount of time, and we feel badly delaying the disbursement of prizes. Also, we tend to get quite a few follow-up DMs, which is understandable. So we are trying to make the prize distribution a little bit more efficient. But with that said, we are open to prize suggestions. If we get any good ones in the chat, we will definitely keep it in mind.
So, Kevin, for context for you, some of the things that we're thinking about for the new prizes is there will be a way that on chain we can select people and through Showdown, so that will make it easy. And then what we're thinking of doing is there will be some easier prizes here with the ability to go to the big wheel.
Big wheel.
And that's where the good prizes will be. So we can give away a lot more on this guy. And occasionally there'll be some really big.
A 1/3 chance of go to the big guy.
Exactly.
And then maybe even like a horrible wheel, like a punishment wheel.
Yeah.
Wheel of Death.
Yeah. So we could have a good wheel on that side, a bad wheel on that side. But yeah, it'll make it way easier for everybody because when it'll be attached with their wallet. So as soon as we know, it can be distributed immediately. And then it also gives us a log so we know exactly who won. So
Beautiful. Well,
the chain.
that's what's coming, allegedly. Working hard on it. I don't know sorry, I had to pop out for a second there. Did we get Casey's backstory on when and why he joined Monad in the first place and what some of his initial ideas were?
No.
I would say I think it was the second week after you joined. You're doing the all team meeting and you put up this like graphic. You're like, this is what I'm thinking for Monad. And I literally like open mouth gasped. I was like, oh my God. It's like this insane, it looked like if anyone has ever seen Transformers 2007 movie reference, it wouldn't be a Monad in the Morning without a 2007 movie reference. Transformers, when the Allspark is like getting smaller, it's like shifting in all of these small cubes to build into this other one. And it was like the Allspark like shifting, coming apart, back together again, white and purple, everything. I'm like, if that's on our website, I'm going to be so fired up. But Casey, yeah, some of the background I feel like would be awesome. Like, how did you find out about Monad, and then what were some of the initial things that you started working on?
Right. So like, how did I find out about Monad? Basically, it was kind of a weird hire because a very opportunistic one. I was just kind of like DM'd to join. Yeah. And I was like, all right, hell yeah. That was basically it, dude.
There you have it.
I was like an L1. Like, it's going to be a competitor to like Solana. Holy crap. Like fast EVM. Like it's just different, you know? And then just having that opportunity to be the first, very, very first design hire. Like, how could I say no, basically, right? Like being able to shape like the way the brand goes and where like our products go, like right from the get-go. That's awesome, man. That's why I joined.
And then I know you were talking a little bit about, hey, we're thinking about doing a brand, maybe do like a mood board, storyboard it out. did you initially do that with Monad? Were there any boards that you looked at and you just like threw out? Like, were there any crazy ones?
Honestly, I proposed a bunch of boards, but it was mostly, I guess, like units, like kind of like saying yes or no. There's some directions that are like fuck yes, and then like a fuck no. Like it was kind of there's a lot of no's, obviously.
Yeah,
Which I kind of wanted to do because like it would kind of make us stand out like a lot.
that would be good. That'd be good lore. Like posting the mood boards that didn't make the cut.
Didn't make the cut.
Yeah. I don't, maybe.
And also potentially good inspiration for eco teams that like want to push
That's
the envelope
true.
and do stuff, you know.
That's true. That's true. It's interesting.
But we went with the mood board that you currently see on the website. Casey's design, the man behind the brand.
I mean, I think you're very much part of the brand too, man. Like we're kind of like working hand in hand, almost kind of differently though, because you're marketing. So
How would you rate the Pipelines branding?
I mean, you guys did this before I joined, so like,
Yeah. That's the point. And it wasn't even us. It was a nice gentleman on Fiverr.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, like that
So be
dot in the
honest.
middle for pipeline, like it is very much like the Monad symbol, right? Because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you look at the actual Monad symbol, it's like a circle with like a dot in the middle, which I think that's reminiscent of that. I'm assuming. Plus, like the idea of like pipeline, you know, it kind of goes along with.
I came up with the name because of pipeline execution. I wanted it to be something that did stand alone. So that's the reason that it's blue and not purple.
Yep.
So I didn't want to directly reference Monad within the pipelines branding.
Yep.
But I just came up with the name, sent a little bit of context to a designer on Fiverr. And the first thing he came back with is the logo right here on my hat. And I was like, hey, that looks good. And at the time, I was, you know, in the community as a member, and just wanted to find ways to amplify the awesome stuff that was going on the technology front, as well as the community side of things and an ecosystem as well. I'm going to interrupt myself because I'm not sure if the chat can hear this aggressive construction
There's no way
drilling
they
noises
can't.
in the background. That is not us. I don't know who that is, but it is probably a builder getting activated on this fine throughput Thursday. So bear with us there.
Nini is back, brought her power tools.
We're all about building. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you're building, as long as something is being built.
Nini says
I'm
Nini is
building.
building.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Yeah, that's the consensus paper being implemented to testnet. If you can hear that noise, you have to drill it directly in to all of the validators.
requires a lot of precision.
I don't want to hear Jungle Trout play the cello.
Oh, you remember when we did talent show?
Yeah, maybe we have to chat. Should we bring back the talent show? That
Dude,
was
that-
fun.
That girl who did the beatboxing.
Oh,
do you
that-
remember? That was the most epic.
Who was that? That
was-
was crazy.
That was part of the Tri-Wizard tournament, or the Tri-House tournament, whereas Trog, Moyaki, Molendak all fighting each other.
Chat, who was that? 7X Bun?
Yes.
7X Bun. Thank
7X
you,
Bun.
Diego.
Dude,
Shout out 7X Bun.
We should pick the top people from the talent show, have them come, and then have like 5 new spots open to come up for the talent show. We
I
can
mean,
rip that.
we are considering a 12-hour stream that could be perfect for the 12-hour stream.
The subathon, it may just happen, but you can front run the subathon by subscribing to the pipeline right now, which I highly recommend.
All right, Danny, what else? What do we?
So
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Jessup.
let's go back to Monad Games, because we got somebody here who has zero idea. You also just don't leak any context on what you are working on for Monad Games. Just
That's alpha in itself.
yeah.
Okay.
But have you gone to Opinion Lads and bet on who you think's gonna win yet?
I have not, but I do have I do have an opinion.
Yeah, we're
I don't know. By the way, I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen anything. But I think KB's gonna win. So
why is that?
I don't know. Everybody else in the video looked like they were upset about something, except for her. So
Perceptive.
yeah.
Danny was upset. He cries
Oh yeah.
in the video.
He cried.
Oh, I laughed. I cried. Tears of joy, tears of sorrow. I had fun. I had struggles, but
Yeah,
ultimately it was a great experience.
Yeah, and that trailer, who else like tossed down their hat? Who was I forgot.
That was me as
Oh,
well.
that was you as well. Okay. You were just crying. Like, okay, so Danny definitely didn't win.
Well, you never know. KB is where KC's guess is, but he also doesn't know who the winner is. These are real live guesses. I don't have a guess because I know.
Savant threw in intern licked.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
that
It's
was
not giving
very
anything
obvious
away.
from the trailer.
That,
That was
I think he put it in like the first clip.
Yeah, I mean, it got memed already.
Okay.
Pretty quickly.
All right, well, that happened. There's a long form version of it coming out.
the coolest thing to me about the prediction markets is it's not just like a one-off, oh, I think, I watched the trailer yesterday, I think KB is going to win, or I think Spam's going to win, or I think Intern's going to win, and then you're locked in and loaded forever. We're going to be dropping more and more teasers until April 10th when we have the live premiere. But the prediction markets will be open during the live premiere because the live premiere is on YouTube and you can't fast forward. So you're going to be able to watch the contestants compete essentially in real time and see the markets, the testnet markets on Opinion Labs move accordingly based on how the competition is going. So I'm super, super excited for that. Bookmark your calendars, April 10th, 10 a.m. Eastern, live premiere on the Pipeline YouTube, followed, of course, by Monad in the morning, where we'll debrief, we'll bring on guests, we'll run through bonus content. Not one to miss by any stretch.
So we will be slightly late on Monad in the mornings next week, but it's
But planned to be late.
yeah,
Planned,
yeah.
On
scheduled.
purpose,
I
late.
am not messing with the Monad community. I've given that up.
But that being said, still mark your calendars for 10 a.m. next Thursday and every 10 a.m. on a Thursday for the rest of your
perpetuity.
life. Yeah.
For the
For
rest,
the rest
of
of
your
your
life.
life. Imagine, it's like 30 years from now, like Mon in the Morning episode 10,000.
Hey, Kevin. How you doing over
Still
there?
missing. I have like extreme back problems from sitting up like this for like 2 hours every week.
2 hours. We got to get those numbers up. We gotta run this 12-hour stream if the chat will stick around for it.
How's your rocking chair over there?
What'd you do on testnet? Do you think mainnet will launch anytime soon?
Oh, shit.
So
It's been 30 years.
having potentially, did you see the trailer by chance?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw the trailer, but you didn't see any of that actual content. For the community's context, I guess we haven't said this yet. The full episode of Monad Games is like 35 minutes long. It's not like a mini video. It's a full-on Mr. Beast style YouTube special. Do you have any idea from watching the trailer what we are actually competing in, or was it just like confusing?
Dude, it was a bit confusing, man. I had no clue. No clue.
That was kind of the intention. It was actually really cool. So we filmed Monad Games back at the end of February in Denver. We were there, as well as the contestants from the community. We were there for ETH Denver, and we didn't have any idea what we were doing. So we were basically in the same shoes that you are now, except we were walking into a studio to film this thing.
Oh.
And so we competed in one game, which was a surprise. Then we competed in another game, which is a surprise, and so on and so forth. So our reactions throughout the video are pretty funny, at least to me, because we had no idea what was about to happen or what we were supposed to do. It was all Jessup that had cooked up these challenges behind the scenes, procured the supplies. It was pretty wild.
It was hard because I had all these ideas without I wanted to bounce them off you guys. And I'm like, I can't tell you. It was so hard not to tell you guys what the different games were and trying to figure out ideas to make it better. Yeah.
I actually do have another, not really alpha, but something that we haven't talked about yet. And actually, can you switch that camera back to the one that you just had? Because it shows something in the background that also appears in Monad games. So right over there on the shelf, there is a mask. And if you saw the trailer, there is somebody wearing that mask. We nicknamed them the Reaper because they also had a black robe while we were recording, but we have never disclosed who the Reaper is. So once the premiere goes live, we'll have a little bit of a competition as well for the community to try and guess who the Reaper is.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of guessing and prediction markets, want to give one quick plug to Kizzy, who went live yesterday on the testnet landing page, designed by KC. Go check out Kizzy. You can bet on a bunch of different social markets. You can bet on Monad's account performance if you think they're going to overachieve or underachieve on tweets for the week. There's a bunch of things you can bet on. Keone's follower count. A lot of markets coming into that as well. An example of this would be, will Mr. Beast's video get over under 60 million views in the first 24 hours after launching?
You mean Monad games?
Will Monad Games get 60 million views in the first 24 hours of launching? Yeah, really cool app that you should go check out on the landing page.
Super cool app.
Also, don't have Kizzy, so no fantasy top or Kizzy.
You get that score up,
Get
dog.
your sound effects going. Cry Jessup
That
a
being
river.
said, let's spin the wheel. I have an idea of what we're gonna do for this spin the wheel. I think we should leak the thumbnail for Monad Games. We should just post it and then everybody retweet it.
And you choose one of the people who retweets?
I don't want to mess up Danny's posting schedule, so this is on Danny.
Danny's like, wait a second.
Yeah, no.
Why don't we leak it as a screen share on the stream and then pick someone randomly? So
Okay.
it's not entirely connected.
Or you pick a person randomly and then send them the thumbnail.
Ooh, but then we don't get to spin the wheel.
What-
Or we do both.
What if we just you're saying so we can leak it to them?
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like the tweet. I don't know, Danny. It's up.
All right.
It's up to you.
Do you have the
The final? Yeah.
All right, Jessup's going to send me the final thumbnail. While he is doing that, I'm going to tweet this off the pipeline. So I need a
Why don't we
caption.
just like show it on screen and then have them take a screenshot and then like reply to like this tweet or this stream?
Quote.
Maybe, I don't know.
Post it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I got it coming.
Coming in hot.
Which one? We're asking the designers.
Yeah, go with that one.
Okay.
We're choosing it live on stream. The thumbnail was just
Yeah.
chosen.
Well, this will be just the thumbnail with the logo on it, but I'm gonna airdrop it to you.
Oh, okay, on my cell phone.
It'll probably come to your computer.
Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, so we have the thumbnail. I need a good caption for this. Got to give it to intern to cook on the caption here. Firing from the hip.
All right, chat. Let's run up who's got their finger on the trigger ready to retweet this thing. We're not gonna pick the first person, we're gonna pick a random person who retweets. So you must retweet in order to
Can I easily see go through the retweets?
You can do this.
All right.
Or if you like that.
I like it. I like it. Okay. Tweets firing. That's a cook.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
There we go. Okay, run it up. We'll let it cook for a second. We'll let some.
I'm gonna
some
go
likes
retweet.
and retweets pour in. It is a banger thumbnail. So we gotta shout out KC here, who absolutely cooked on this logo. KC, absolutely love what you did here. We had no real logos in mind. Monad Games loosely inspired by Squid Games, so we give a little nod to the Squid Games logo with the branding, but it is entirely original as well. We've got some retweets pouring in. Popnad, I see in the comments. Shout out Chaos. Shout out Frisco. Shout out Rosin. Mel says, I'm the random guy. All right, so now I'm going to start looking through these retweets, and I'm going to pick somebody random. And the person we pick is the spin to win. Okay. I got Sasuke. Sasuke.
Sasuke?
Eeee.
Sasuke.
Sasuke.
Yeah, let's
Sasuke
go.
followed back. Much love. And you, Sasuke, are the winner of this spin to win. Let's get this wheel going without further ado. KC, I know we are over time, so if you have to go, no problem, but you are welcome to keep vibing out with us for the next half hour.
What is it?
Oh, random NFT. So you're going to get a random NFT from my wallet on the Monad testnet. I do have a lot of NFTs.
Let's go.
I will choose it 100% randomly. I'm not exactly sure how yet, but
I'll
could be a
send you a
great
Steve.
NFT, could be a very mid NFT, or it could be a Steve, which would unfortunately mean that you got the bottom of the barrel.
Oh my God. I don't even have a Steve.
What?
It's almost not worth it.
I'm going to wait until
Poor
I get a
James.
spin to win and I get my 1 in 1,000 chance at a Steve.
Casey, do you have an NFT launched?
No, I don't. But this is funny because like I've launched several NFTs like before Monad, so
Well, we need to get a KC NFT on testnet.
I do.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you collected NFTs on Tesla?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite or a couple favorites? Maybe an honorable mention or
I like Karma's a lot actually. Like she's got some great NFTs. So yeah.
She's a great digital artist.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah,
Amazing.
for sure. For sure.
All right.
All right.
Do you have
so-
more on the programming, or is this where we
Is this where we cut it?
wrap it up?
Well, no, we had a little bit of a lighter day today. I'm happy to surface new topics, new subjects. If anyone in the chat has good questions, we can click on that.
Oh, a
or
little
we can,
AMA in the chat.
Yeah, a little AMA in the chat.
As people throw in questions, I would like to shout out, there is no possible way to lose money on testnet. And in a week like this week, when it seems like every asset in the entire world is getting murdered, you can have some fun without risk of loss, playing around on testnet, going to bet on Kizzy, going to predict on Opinion Labs, sharing your opinion with the blockchain itself. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff to do. Fantasy Top, Kuru, LFJ, and Composite coming soon.
And for some alpha, a bunch of games coming soon as well. So we're cooking up a little something behind the scenes. I know KC has the alpha. But if you like to play games and you like crypto, this is going to be pretty fun for you.
Oh, we got a good one. What about Monad Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Monad Shark Tank will happen in the Discord. Tunes has put out the information on monad_eco. A lot of builders coming in to pitch their ideas either in the idea stage or products that they're currently working on, looking for community feedback so they can build exactly what you want to use. Monad Shark Tank, really cool. Coming, I think it premieres next week.
Very much so. Looking forward to that one. Should be good fun, and I get to be in the chat rather than on the stream, so that's a fun little switcheroo.
So I got a question. Do you guys hold? Is it Bijana?
Oh, Bijana! Shout out Bijan.
I saw a tweet this morning that he keeps putting off this white paper. He's saying white paper coming, devs are cooking, and I haven't seen it yet.
I guess we're just gonna have to wait. But shout out Bijan holding it down in Southeast Asia on the foundation team, working on many things related to helping out ecosystem projects. So Bijana, a lot of mystery there. I think I do hold some.
I bought some, but there's been some delays.
That's okay though. It's this is crypto after all. Jungie says, please wrap it up so I can go back to my real job.
Okay, so we will be on for another hour.
And Tunes is hosting a conflicting space. Do not join.
I just posted, or I copy and pasted Nini's post in the chat. Tunes is hosting a space right now. If you like more Monad riffing content, seeing what's going on, I highly recommend joining and then replying with anything that you do not like about Tunes' space. Make sure he knows what your pain points are. He probably won't fix them, but it's important that he knows.
I normally say this on Tunes' space, but today I want to say on Monad in the Morning because this is our first ever Monad in the Morning on a Thursday. It is my favorite day of the week, and it should be yours as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Throughput Thursday. Give it up. Throughput Thursday. Woo. Tremendous day. Happens once every 7 days, and we absolutely love it.
So last time I joined Tunes' space, he called me LinkedIn vibes, and so I changed my PFP due to it. Should we go on a space right now and see if we can get on stage?
Yeah. Here.
LinkedIn vibes.
Yeah, he called me LinkedIn vibes.
This is a convergence of two Thursday morning radio shows.
All right, we're gonna start listening. Oh, look at that. 46 listeners. We got 7,800.
Oh, he's doing the thing where he plays music for the first 20 minutes.
At least 20 minutes.
Yeah. DJ Tunes. Shout out DJ
Look,
Tunes.
we're speakers. But he's gonna get us. We're gonna get
Tunes. We're on Monad in the Morning. We want to converge with the space. We don't want to fragment the vibes. We want to conjoin the vibes.
chat. What should we say to Tunes?
Popnad just throwing thumbs downs. I'm going to join Popnad on that.
Let's go, Popnad.
Thumbs downing Tunes' face.
Tunes.
Not interns on. Wait, what's happening right now?
Tunes, you are live on Monad in the Mornings right now on your space. Do you have anything to say? I think we're around 8,000 viewers. Do you have anything to say to the viewers right now?
Yeah. I can't officially reveal anything, but big things are coming to the Steve roadmap. So not financial advice, but I would definitely be trying to get your hands on as many of them as possible.
We actually had to pretend that Steves were cool for a second to convince Diego Vaz that his prize wasn't terrible at a 1 in 1,000 chance to win the Steves,
Which he didn't get.
which he didn't win. It was the 999 in 1,000 chance of not getting it that hit.
Dude, keep spinning. Maybe if someone actually gets it, that would be incredible.
Just keep spinning.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, wait. Can you guys? All right. Well, thanks for the plug. When your stream ends, everyone come over, hang out with the cool kids over here. We're kind of like the less cool kids. You guys are the cool kids, but you know what I'm saying.
All right, you heard it here first. Everyone go to Cryptunes' Twitter space. He might be dropping some cool information. He might not be. He's probably not, but it will be kind of fun. It'll be mildly entertaining with a high probability. And with that, I am actually going to go hop on his space and let Danny Pipelines do what he does best and riff about starting shows and ending shows and giving intros and outros and ripping it from there.
Yeah, so we did the intro, so now we're gonna do the outro, and Tunes is still yapping. Yes, go join Tunes' space. It will be a lot of fun. It's a little bit of a different vibe from this show. We were all over the place today in terms of hitting on the left curve stuff with Steve giveaways, as well as the right curve stuff, talking with James Hunsaker, CEO, Category Labs, co-founder of the Monad Protocol, and the super awesome research paper that Category Labs released yesterday on the novel Monad BFT consensus mechanism. We also have Monad games coming up in the pipeline, trademark, no pun intended, April 10th at 10 a.m. And we were also blessed with a first-time guest, KC, the first designer on the Monad Foundation team. We're getting those numbers up. We have a second one who joined earlier this week. So really appreciate you sharing some insights, coming on the show, giving some tips and alpha on the design process. And yeah, we'll be back next week, another Monad in the morning, now every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So set your alarms, set your calendar invites, set your reminders, write it on your fridge or wherever you remind yourself to do things, because every Thursday at 10 a.m. we'll be here. And next week is very special because it is the live premiere of Monad Games. Thank you for being here. We'll catch you on the